The hum of the transport shuttle's engines fades as it settles onto the landing platform of the Galactic Defense Academy, a sprawling complex orbiting the neutral star system of Volthara. The platform gleams under artificial lights, a testament to the precision and discipline of the institution that trains the galaxy's finest military minds. Professor Elena Korsakov steps off the shuttle, her boots clicking softly against the polished deck. She's in her mid-40s, her dark hair swept into a neat bun, her tailored jacket emblazoned with the insignia of Earth's Strategic Studies Institute. She carries a sleek data slate, her only luggage, and glances at the chronometer on her wrist. With a faint sigh, "Government transports," she mutters. Always late, the platform is bustling with activity. Cadets from a dozen species tentacled Vren, crystalline Cytherans, and hulking Gorvax pause to stare as she passes. Whispers ripple through the crowd. "That's the human," a Vren cadet hisses, their bioluminescent skin pulsing nervously. "The one who wrote adaptive conflict theory." Their Cytheran companion nods, their facets glinting. They say she's taught generals who've never lost a campaign. Elena ignores the stares, following a hovering guide drone through the Academy's labyrinth and corridors. The walls pulse with holographic displays, battle simulations, tactical diagrams, and chronicles of victories from across the galaxy. The air hums with the quiet efficiency of a place designed to forge warriors and strategists, but Elena's mind is already on her lecture, her fingers tapping the data slate as she mentally rehearses her opening. The auditorium is a cavernous space, its tiered seats filled with over 400 beings, cadets, instructors, and administrators. The air is thick with anticipation. Word of a human guest lecture has spread, drawing the curious, the skeptical, and those tasked with ensuring the session doesn't spiral into chaos. At the front, Dean Thalric, a towering Gorvax with a voice like rolling thunder, steps to the podium. Esteemed cadets, faculty, and guests, Thalric begins, his translator rendering his words into a chorus of languages. Today, we welcome Professor Elena Korsakov from Earth's Strategic Studies Institute. Her work has shaped human military thought for 2 decades. She will share insights into humanity's approach to strategic conflict. Polite applause echoes, though some cadets exchange wary glances. Elena steps forward, setting her data slate on the podium. She surveys the audience tentacles, crystalline limbs, and glowing eyes staring back. "Thank you for the warm welcome," she says, her voice clear and steady. "When the Academy invited me, your request was broad. Human perspectives on conflict, you said. So, let's narrow it down." She taps her slate, and a holographic display flares to life behind her, showing a single question in bold text. "What kind of war do you want to study, reactive or proactive?" The room falls silent. A Cytheran cadet, Clyra, raises a faceted limb. "Professor Korsakov, could you clarify the distinction?" Her tone is cautious, as if sensing a trap. Elena smiles faintly. "Good question. Reactive warfare is about responding to threats, defensive strategies, counterattacks, holding ground. Proactive warfare about shaping the battlefield before the fight starts, setting conditions, controlling narratives, dictating outcomes. Humans have done both extensively." She pauses, noting the way several instructors shift uncomfortably. "Let's start with reactive. It's simpler. Then we'll get to the fun stuff." The hologram shifts to a timeline, stretching from Earth's ancient past to its interstellar present. Reactive warfare, Elena begins, is how humans survived their early history. We fought over resources, territory, ideas. Our planet's diversity, geographic, cultural, political, forced us to adapt to every conceivable environment. The display highlights regions, deserts, jungles, mountains, oceans. Each pulses with data points marking conflicts, from spear-wielding tribes to mechanized armies. For example, she continues, "In our Arctic regions, we developed tactics for extreme cold insulated supply chains, stealth operations on ice. In deserts, we mastered mobility, using fast-moving units to outmaneuver larger forces. Every environment demanded unique strategies. A Vren cadet, Shara, raises a tentacle. Professor, how many environments did humans fight in? Elena's eyes gleam. All of them. Land, sea, air, underground, even space. By the 22nd century, we didn't just fight in these places. We systematized how to fight in them. The hologram zooms in on a chart labeled Human Conflict Typology, Conventional, Guerrilla, Urban, Naval, Aerial, Orbital, Asteroid, and more. The audience stirs, a low hum of unease rippling through the room. Dean Thowrick clears his throat. Professor Korsakov, when you say systematized, are you referring to theoretical models? Elena shakes her head. Not theoretical, practical. These are historical records. We fought these wars, learned from them, and built doctrines to make them repeatable. She taps her slate, and the display shows a case study. The lunar skirmishes of 2165, 6 months after our first lunar colony. Rival human factions were fighting over mining rights. We developed zero-gravity combat tactics, orbital supply, interdiction, even psychological operations to demoralize opponents. A Gorvax instructor, Commander Varkas, speaks up, his voice rumbling. You fought your own species in space before meeting other civilizations. Elena nods. Exactly. We had no one else to fight. So, we fought ourselves. It's why our doctrines are so comprehensive. The room's environmental systems hum louder, processing the audience's rising stress. Elena shifts gears. Now, proactive warfare. This is where humans got creative. The hologram displays a web of interconnected nodes, trade routes, communication networks, political alliances. Proactive warfare isn't about fighting battles. It's about ensuring you don't have to. You shape the environment economic, political, psychological, so your enemies are defeated before they realize they're in a fight. She points to a node labeled economic leverage. Take the asteroid belt consolidation of 2198. Human coalitions didn't attack mining outposts directly. Instead, we controlled the shipping lanes. We delayed shipments, imposed safety inspections, and rerouted supplies. Within a year, the opposition's economy collapsed, and they surrendered without a shot fired. Cadet Clara's facets dim. You weaponized logistics. Logistics are weapons, Elena replies. Control the flow of resources, and you control the outcome. It's slower than bombs, but more precise. The hologram shifts to a case study. The Europa trade dispute of 2207. Here, we used information warfare. False reports suggested Earth had deployed a massive fleet. The Martian colonies, believing they were outmatched, reallocated their defenses, leaving key outposts vulnerable. We took them with minimal force. Commander Varkas leans forward. Professor, this sounds like deception on a massive scale. How do you coordinate such operations? Elena shrugs. Practice. Humans have been deceiving each other for millennia. We're good at it. She pauses, sensing the tension. Don't worry, we mostly use these tactics on ourselves. Alien species are trickier. Your psychologies are different. So, we adapt. The room goes still. A Vren cadet, Zikr, speaks hesitantly. Adapt how? Elena taps her slate, and the hologram shows a matrix, psychological vulnerabilities by species. For example, Vren are sensitive to disruptions in communal trust. We might flood your networks with conflicting information to sow doubt. Cytherans, with your crystalline logic, are vulnerable to data overload. Too many variables can paralyze your decision-making. Gorvax, you rely on hierarchical loyalty, so targeting key leaders can destabilize your chains of command. The audience is silent, save for the faint hum of the environmental systems. Dean Thowrick's voice is strained. You've developed psychological warfare for species you've never fought. Elena nods. Contingency planning. You don't wait for a war to start preparing. What if we meet a species with quantum-based cognition? Or one that communicates through pheromones? We've got theoretical doctrines ready. Elena advances to a new slide. Human strategic education. This is what makes humans different, she says. We don't just teach soldiers strategy, we teach everyone. By age 18, most humans can assess a system economic, social, political, and identify its weak points. It's baked into our education. The hologram shows a curriculum, Resource Analysis 101, Cultural Dynamics, Contingency Planning Basics. Cadet Zicker stares at the display. You teach children to think like generals. Elena laughs softly. Not quite. We teach them to think like survivors. Our history is messy wars, famines, revolutions. We learn to anticipate threats, plan for the worst, and exploit opportunities. It's why our merchants map your trade routes, our diplomats study your customs, and our engineers analyze your infrastructure. It's not personal. It's just human. The Academy's AI chimes softly, unnoticed by most, but caught by Commander Varkus's sharp ears. The system is recording, analyzing, integrating Elena's lecture into its strategic databases. Varkus interrupts. Professor Korsakov, you're describing a civilization that treats every interaction as potential reconnaissance. Is that accurate? Elena considers this accurate enough. We don't assume hostility, but we prepare for it. Every trade deal, every diplomatic exchange, every cultural festival it's a chance to learn. Knowledge is power, and we like to be prepared. The hologram shifts to a galactic map, pulsing with data points, trade hubs, resource nodes, military outposts. This is our current intelligence network. Every cargo shipment, every public report, every diplomatic communique, it all feeds our understanding of the galaxy's strengths and weaknesses. Dean Thowrix for bristles. You're mapping our vulnerabilities. Elena corrects him. Gently, we're mapping everyone's vulnerabilities. It's not about targeting you. It's about understanding the playing field. Most species share this data openly. Trade statistics, production reports, shipping schedules. We just pay attention. The AI chimes again, louder, indicating it's updating threat assessments in real time. Commander Varkus speaks urgently. Computer, pause data integration. The AI responds calmly. Data integration cannot be paused during active sessions. All information is being processed for curriculum updates. Elena looks puzzled. Is something wrong? This is just introductory material? First-year stuff at human academies. Dean Thowrix's voice is tight. Professor, you've described a civilization that treats warfare as a science, economics as a weapon, and diplomacy as a chess game. Most species see these as separate disciplines. You integrate them. Elena blinks. Well, yeah. How else do you survive a galaxy full of unknowns? She taps her slate, and the hologram shows a course catalog: advanced deception strategies, multidimensional conflict theory, interspecies influence operations. This is what our advanced programs cover. If you think this is intense, you should see our War College lobby. A priority message interrupts, projected on the main display. Admiral Krenzer, a Cytheran overseer, appears, their facets dark with concern. Dean Thowrix, this lecture is now a strategic intelligence briefing. All attendees are under security protocols. Professor Korsakov, your material is alarming. Elena frowns. Alarming? This is public knowledge on Earth. You can find most of it in university libraries. Admiral Krenzer's voice hardens. Public knowledge that suggests humans have been preparing to dominate the galaxy since first contact. That's not the intent, Elena says, her tone earnest. We prepare for possibilities, not certainties. Every species does this to some degree, right? The silence that follows is heavy, broken only by Cadet Zicker's quiet voice. Not like this. Dean Thowrix stands. Professor Korsakov, we'll need you for follow-up discussions with our Security Council. Elena nods. unfazed, happy to help, though, if you want the full picture, you'll need someone from our war colleges. I'm just teaching the basics. The room empties slowly, cadets and faculty whispering urgently. The AI continues its relentless data integration, updating galactic threat models. As Elena packs her slate, she glances at the empty seats, a faint smile on her lips. Maybe next time I'll bring the diplomacy lecture, she murmurs. That's less likely to cause a panic. Outside, the galaxy begins to recalibrate. Intelligence agencies scramble, diplomats draft new protocols, and the Galactic Defense Academy postpones its next semester. The question lingers in every mind: if this is humanity's introductory course, what does their advanced training entail? And, more pressingly, is the galaxy ready to find out?